What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Sneaker Circle. It is your boy Danny back with another review, and in today's video I am going to be reviewing a dunk that re-released or restocked. I don't really know how to explain it. In today's video we are going to be covering the medium curry 2024 release. Now these did get a 2020 release and they were a highly sought out after pair of dunks. Before we get into everything, if you're new to the channel, please feel free to drop, a like, a comment, maybe sub. Let's get these out the box and let's just get into it. Okay, so out of the box, ooh, editing magic, it's crazy. $130 retail. Let's start there. At $130, these are classified as a Nike Premium. So quick zoom in on the box right there. Nothing too crazy about the box. Same as the 2020 release, it's just what dunks come in these days. And quality wise, for $130, it's your average dunk. Don't get too excited about it. Luckily they are not leather, they're suede, so in my opinion quality is just a bit better than you would see with a leather release, because those leather releases, especially the GRs, are crazy, especially when they start like creasing up. They just look bad. What's really interesting is that this sneaker specifically, the 2020 version, just like the plums I reviewed earlier this month or last month, time isn't real. These were one of those shoes that in 2020 to 2022 you couldn't get unless you were willing to spend $500 to $400. If you don't believe me, here's some StockX numbers. Of course they track everything, so you can kind of go a couple years back and you can kind of see where that price drop kind of came in, which is kind of wild because me personally, I honestly did try to get this pair in 2022 to early 2023. I was looking at used pairs and I was offering upwards to I was offering upwards to like $350 to $400 on decently lightly used pairs. Now I got them for retail in 2024, so waiting pays off. So I'm going to repeat something I said in the plum review. When it comes to these GR Nike exclusive colorways that came directly through Nike, and you can see it in Air Max right now as well. The colorways are never truly safe, so if you play the waiting game, you might have a chance at, in a couple years, being able to get a pair. So the entire shoe is suede. We have a hairy suede in this part right here. Looking at the front toe box, it feels like a decent quality. It's nothing too crazy. I enjoy how soft Nike suede is when it comes to their dunks and stuff like that. As inconvenient as suede can be sometimes when it comes to sneakers, I prefer them over leather, or at least GR quality leather, like 80% of the time. And then you can kind of see how it seems to be a shorter grain suede on the actual toe box, and the toe box is kind of this cooler, almost gray. It's in the white category, but it's on a cooler side. And then the majority of the brown suede throughout the entire sneaker is almost like a mocha. You kind of see it in those mocha Air Jordan 1s that are coming out. Same hue in my opinion. Followed by right here, where the laces meet, you do have a darker suede. Now this is exactly the way the 2020s released and the original pair that released in the early 2000s. Built just like this. They are classics, especially that medium curries also came out in a pair of Air Max 1s if I'm not mistaken. The swoosh is kind of like this coconut, so you can see how like beige it is comparing to that white side panel. The sole is a little yellowed as well, so that sole being yellow just tells me nothing on the shoe was meant to be white. Taking a look at the tongue itself, it is a little weird. Again, not fully white, kind of has like this yellow hue to it, same as the laces. So if you look right here, the laces don't match perfectly with either the side panel or that swoosh. And they're like the polyester laces. I'm not the biggest fan of these laces. I feel like they crease and they get like really wrinkly, but it does seem to have a bit of 3M in them, so that's kind of cool. I don't know if the 2020 pair had that, but if that's the difference between those and these, I'm for it. And then the last little detail is that dark brown sole. So that's the darkest part of the shoe, darker than the suede near the laces. The thing about releases like this is you can't really review the shoe too much. If you're in the market for them the way I was, then you lucked out. These can be gotten at retail, and some sizes even lower than retail. So that's fantastic to know. What I'm generally curious about is, why are these more expensive than plums? So like I said, this is a shoe I released earlier, a couple weeks ago or last month, I don't remember. And the things about these is, just like the medium curries, they went for an atrocious amount of money in 2020. I tried to buy a pair of these, a pretty used pair of these, for like $200, $250, and the dude did not want to let them go. He wanted his $350 to $380 for them, and I wasn't game with that. No box, no anything. people held on to these like they were the next Travs. It was such a weird time in the sneaker space. And I know a lot of people are gonna say, you know, sneakers are dead, whatever, resale is dead. I mean, it is what it is. As long as you like sneakers and you're in it to like just collect, just to buy, just to wear, nothing's gonna really change for you. So getting back on track, these are labeled as a premium, so Nike Premium Dunks, if I remember correctly on the box. It actually even has the retro sign to it, so retro premium, which is cool, but Plums didn't get that, and Plums were a little bit less expensive. So Plums are being labeled as an SP, so a special project, and it makes sense since this was kind of part of a pack, the 2001 Japan pack, so Ugly Duckling packs. I just don't get why they didn't try to charge us 130 for these, but they did for these. Material wise, nothing is too out of like, okay, this suede might be nicer because it's a longer grain, but the suede on Plums is, you know, still brushable, still nice and smooth. It's just a different style of suede, not necessarily better. But to be honest, that's all preference. And man, it is such a weird feeling knowing I almost, should I say, spent probably $400, $500 on these new. I held back because I wanted to be cheap and because there was just so many other sneakers to get. And I'm really glad I did, because if I would have grabbed these at $500 and then they would have restocked and bricked, I would have been salty. I would have been really salty. Maybe I would have doubled up, but I would have been salty nonetheless. This would have been a different video. So I'm gonna go ahead, throw these on feet. Thank you guys for tuning in, and thank you guys for checking out the channel. If you're new, again, please sub, please drop a like, comment what you think about these. Would you have gone for these if they were still, you know, a $300, $400 pair of shoes? Or now that they're bricks, do you not even want to acknowledge they exist? All right, let's get straight to the on feet. Peace.